this ever happen to you? Or this? Will this make your memoirs? At Shelter Insurance, we can't iron out all the glitches in modern life. But we can manage your auto, home, and life insurance just fine. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Get the insurance coverage you need at the right price. Call Mark Manning today.
Well, we got to film at Farmer's Tire Mart on one of those days that we haven't had in some time, and there's some stuff out here that's kind of been coming down. What is all this wet stuff?
That's money saver.
That's money saver, isn't
Money
it?
saver.
Yes, sir. Little rain shower.
Rain shower. They might get to turn that diesel off for a while.
Yes, sir. You know, we often talk about the farmer. I mean,
Yeah.
Farmer in Newport, Jackson County is just, I mean, as the farmer goes, we all go.
Right.
And when you get a nice little rain shower like this, whether you're cutting or not, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to complain about a shower when you can save some money, because obviously we're saving some money.
Yeah.
Excited about rain.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So what do you think we've gotten so far today? Because it's been a good steady rain since last night.
Yes. I have no idea.
Yeah, we've got an inch plus maybe.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so too, and that makes us feel good here at Farmer's Tire Mart. We might not be doing a lot of business when it's raining itself, but now that the rain is set in, and there's going to be lots of people to come in and have their vehicles worked on.
Oh yes. And
Tell us about service, Tommy. Tell us about what you guys do.
Oh, we do suspension work, like steering, ball joints,
Right.
and tie rod ends, and rack and pinion steerings, and struts and shocks, and of course we do brakes.
Sure.
And but our goal is to do whatever the customer needs done,
Right.
and no more,
Right. Yeah.
and no less.
Right.
If we have we have a car in or pickup, whichever, in for a tire rotation,
Right.
and in the course of doing that, and we see that the customer has shiny rotors, you know, and they look like they have been wearing into the metal,
Right.
metal to metal. We make them aware of that.
Time to make a phone call, isn't it?
And time to make a phone call, or sometimes they stand and wait, you
Right,
know, for us
yeah.
to rotate the tires. But they say, you know, time and time again they'll say, well, I hadn't noticed any problem, but the problem is evident, you know, when you get to looking at it. But and we don't want to do anything that the customer don't want to do.
Sure.
But we do want to make the vehicle safe. But ultimately, that's up to them.
Well,
And
yes, and what I was going to say, you guys are the professionals. You're the professionals, and y'all can look at it and say, look, it may not be, you might not have noticed it yet, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen real soon. So let's prevent that. We always talk about preventing. You know, if you do some preventive maintenance, so important, especially the automobiles, to do it up front. Do it up front.
Absolutely. That's just like the old heart surgeon that I had when I had heart surgery. He said it's not a matter of where you're going to have a heart attack, it's just when.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to happen, isn't it?
It's going to happen.
Yeah, so let's take care of you.
But we like to let the customer know what kind of condition that their vehicle is in when it comes to these maintenance parts, and we want them to be as safe as possible. And an often, very often overlooked necessity,
Right.
is wiper blades.
Absolutely.
They don't pay attention to them when it's not raining.
That's right.
Or once it starts raining.
It's a reminder, isn't
It's
it?
a reminder real quick.
Yes, sir.
But,
Well, you don't ever think about it if you don't need them, but when it starts raining and you turn them on, you go, yeah, I forgot to replace those wiper blades.
Absolutely.
And you need them. And general maintenance.
General maintenance.
So you can see.
But, we never know about it until it's time for it, and when it's time for it, it's needed right now.
Absolutely. Hey, something else that I know we've talked about it on the show before, but a little simple thing like air pressure in your tire, how important that is on the wear and tear of the tire and fuel economy.
Oh, it's very, very necessary. Tires and vehicles are engineered one for the other. And like some of these newer cars coming out with newer sizes of tires, and vehicles manufacturers recommend a certain tire.
Sure.
And they recommend air pressure.
Right.
And that recommended pressure gives them the optimum fuel mileage.
That's right. That's
and,
right.
So it's a necessity to keep the tires with the correct pressure to perform properly. Tire wear and handling abilities, and it'll keep that aggravating light, the low tire light, from coming on.
That's right. And you know, some of the newer model cars do have the tire light that says that it can. And then there's some, you know, older models that don't have that. And but you know, it's just something if you pull up to get gas somewhere, or you just don't think about it a lot or enough to check you. I mean, but it ought to be something that you do often.
Yes. Once a week.
Yeah.
Is not too often.
That's right.
If you think you might have a problem with air pressure, your car starts pulling one way or the other.
Right. Yeah.
That's an indication of low air pressure on the receiving side. And just pull in here and say, "Would you check my air pressure?"
Done it before. You guys do it.
We do that. And so yes, air pressure is very, very, very important for the performance of the vehicle.
Little things that are inexpensive, like you talk about the wiper blades, like we talk about airing your tire, can literally, you don't have to invest a lot of money to save yourself what could be a big amount of money later.
Well, you can cut mileage in your tires. You can cut it in half by running low air pressure.
Sure.
Or
the
too much air.
The life of the tire. Yeah.
Or too much air.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the vehicle is designed to ride on a certain amount of air pressure, and manufacturers recommend this number, and that's what we try to encourage the customer to go with.
Well, that's very interesting, and of course, folks, we invite you by to Farmers Tire Mart, located right here on Malcolm Avenue. We've been here a long time, been taking care of folks for a long time. We continue to do so, and whether it's, you know, new tires, or, you know, for your truck, or your ATV, or, you know, your boat trailer, or whatever. I mean, we may not have it in stock, but we can get it for you.
Yeah. Customers used to come by and say, "You got an old 15-inch tire and put on a two-wheel trailer?"
Sure.
But most everyone is investing in new trailer tires.
Right, absolutely.
We have a tire that's designed for utility trailers, and we keep those in stock.
Right, good deal.
And so if you have a utility trailer that needs tires, we've got those, and be glad to take care of it for you.
Well, I know you will. My friend, it's always a pleasure to get to come down and visit with you. And I know things are busy, and that's why you like it. You take care of a lot of folks, aren't you?
That's right. And
remember us.
We want to continue to take care of those folks too.
That's right. And remember us on we've got a website, www.farmerstiremart.com. We're on Facebook. Yeah. You are Mr. Tommy Bain, married to Linda Bain, and you guys have been here doing this for a while, haven't you?
We're in our 25th year.
Oh, congratulations, sir. Boy, it's always a pleasure to get to see you. Yeah. Tommy Bain at Farmers Tire Mart, where
the rubber meets the road.
Lindley Healthcare and Rehab, and you talking about some fun stuff. Folks, we got coming up here in a little bit, you're going to see some exotic animals. Sherry Hanley, tell us about what's going on at Lindley today. You just do something special each and every month here. What we got going on today?
I try to. Today, we're having a safari birthday party. It's Mrs. Viola Peoples' 100th birthday today. She is 100 years old today. And so I kind of thought, let's just go way out of the box. Let's do something different. And I've been planning this for a couple of months. She hasn't known anything about it, so she had no idea she was coming out to a camel, a zebu, a baby kangaroo, and all these exotic animals. And, you know, all the residents are out here. It's a beautiful morning. It's a cool morning, and it's just a great day to have a 100th birthday party.
Yeah, no doubt, and you guys are always doing something special. And Miss Viola, it's certainly good to see you again. And
it's good to see you, David.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Now, we have interviewed you before, and then since that time, you've been queen, and 100 years seems to be a pretty good celebration for a young lady that's doing quite well.
I think so.
Tell me this, Miss Viola. You've got family here, and we got all the residents here. We got a lot of exotic animals, and 100 years. Not a lot of people get to be 100 years old. Tell me, how'd you do that?
I've been blessed, David. That's how I lay it to that. I've just been blessed.
Well, you have been blessed. You've lived a good life, and I know. Talk a little bit about being here at Lindley.
Well, I've had more fun this past year when I was 99 than I had any year in my life. They involve me in everything, and I'm just having fun. And they feed me good, and they take care of me, and I don't have a worry in the world.
I would think, Sherry, a pretty good recommendation for Lindley, Miss Viola.
Well, I'll call her my assistant marketing director. So she helps me do spotlight shows, radio commercials. So she's a pretty good assistant. I'm telling you. And we have one more surprise, Miss Viola. The mayor of our town, Mr. David Stewart, is here. So let's bring him over. I think he's got something to say to you.
Hey, Mayor, come join us right here, please, sir. Mayor David Stewart of the great city of Newport, Arkansas. How are you?
How are you, Miss Peebles? I'm fine, thank you. Good. Congratulations on your. Thank you. Congratulations on your 100 years. I have a little something for you. Okay, on behalf of all the citizens of Newport and myself and my staff, I want to present to you a key to the city.
I'll be opening the door and coming right in.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. That's fantastic.
That might get you in the city's vault, but there's no money there. We spend it all.
Well, what will I do without money?
Congratulations to you.
Mayor, thank you on behalf of Cable 15 TV. Boy, congratulations. Thank you, sir. That's a great honor. That's a great honor. Miss Viola, you got a key to the city. What are you going to do with that?
Well, I'm going to unlock the door and come into the city and see everybody and have more fun.
You are a pleasure to be around. I have enjoyed visiting with you. Congratulations, Miss Viola, on your 100th birthday. Congratulations.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Sherry, we're going to enjoy some of the festivities, show some of the animals. We're going to have a good time. It's a great day, and let me tell you what, you hit a home run here.
Thank you so much. We love to do these parties for our residents, and we kind of look for any kind of occasion, to have these parties. We enjoy it so much, and we enjoy seeing the residents have so much fun. Just a few weeks ago, we did the big concert. People are still talking about that. The residents are still talking about the concert. So there's more to come. I told you back, I think in January, this was going to be a fun year, a big year. So there's more to come at Lindley.
Lindley Health Rehab Center. Y'all know where we're located, and we're going to show a bunch more stuff coming right up.
Everybody's ready. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Miss Peebles. Happy birthday to you.
Unity Health, Harris Medical Center. And this young man is Darren Caldwell, and my friend, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Darren Caldwell here at Unity Health, Vice President, Administrator of Harris Medical Center, and welcome to Newport, my friend.
Well, it's good to be here. I'm excited to be here. About myself, I've been in the business about 25 years. I've been in Southeast Arkansas the whole time. I've operated 3 or 4 different hospitals. So one was about the same size as Harris, and the other ones are a little smaller. But I'm excited about the staff I've got to work with. The people in the town have been very, very friendly. I live over in the neighborhood, so I've got to hear the football games in my back door.
Is that right?
So,
Is that right?
I feel like a greyhound at heart, so
there
I must
you go.
be fitting in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And hey, there's no doubt that, and I know you were in DeWitt for a long, long time, and
yes,
spent a little time at Monticello in between
right.
2 stints there at DeWitt. And tell us a little bit about what you have to do as an administrator. Tell us what you have to do and your vision about where you want this hospital to go.
Well, I would say my vision, but I would say Unity's vision, is that we're not here by accident. You know, I feel like the community's blessed to have Unity here. I think that the organization as a whole doesn't just want to consider this to be a feeder hospital. Right. I don't think its intention is to just suck the business out. We want to make improvements to the building. Right now, if it goes through, we anticipate a few $1 million being put back in the organization in the next year. So if we were just thinking about coming in, taking them and running, we wouldn't be spending that kind of money. So obviously we want to build the business here back to the way it was 15, 20 years ago.
Sure.
We think that Newport got accustomed to having 2 hospitals for a long time, and I understand that. Was friends with the administrator at the other end for years. But most towns are 1 hospital towns now.
Sure,
especially
absolutely.
of our size. So we want to make sure that there is one, and I think that that's what it's important. You know, we don't need to go around. I try to tell my employees all the time, you don't ever miss the restaurant that you never ate at.
Right, right.
So I want to make sure that we create an environment that people in Jackson County feel comfortable coming here. I think that there's a double-edged sword. You want the people that you know taking care of you. You just want to make sure they don't know your business. That's right.
Sure.
So I'm going to make sure that the people here make sure that everything is kept confidential. We want you to be able to feel comfortable coming here and know that the person that's taking care of you is as good as anywhere else you're going to go, and that what they do here stays here. I think that all the bakers out there watching, I know that they get a challenge all the time, people that don't want to bake here because they want local people knowing how much money they got.
Sure.
And healthcare is a lot like that, and we want to make sure that it's to let the community know that their privacy is precious to us.
Sure.
So that's going to be the first thing. The next thing is we want to be a viable employer. We're not just going to, and I want us to be the employer of choice. You know, we don't want people that don't want to be here. I have told folks before that if you don't want to be here, we'll be happy to try to find a place for you to work that don't have the standards that we have.
Sure.
Because we're going to set the bar high, and we anticipate people that want to be here are going to do the best they can for you while they're on the clock. I expect the employees here to greet you at Walmart, greet you going down the street to football games, and act like they know you. I don't want it to be a stuck-up issue. It's too small a town for us to not all get along.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
But at the same token, we should be professional. We're educated. That's the other thing. Our folks graduate from the same schools, the ones from Little Rock, Jonesboro, Memphis, wherever you'd want to go. So I don't have any problem with us promoting ourselves, making sure that the people around town know that we know what we're talking about.
Sure.
And so I want us to be visible. Unity's plan is to make this the most successful hospital in the state. I've told the employees from the time I arrived that the folks down at Searcy will be sending people to Newport to learn how to do their job, because we're going to be the ones doing the best in this system.
Absolutely.
And I don't say that just for lip service. My intention is to make sure that happens. Unity's intention is to be the best system. And my intention is to be the best in the system.
That's pretty good. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong.
Well,
but it makes us healthy. It makes us healthy, not just from a physical standpoint. I'm talking about from a mental standpoint. If you know, as a person needing health care, that your hospital of choice is there, and that you are going to they're going to take care of you. They're going to do things right. It just makes everybody get along. And the old Harris Hospital was that way for years and years and years, and since Unity has taken over, we see that again. We're excited about the direction we're going in what I always call my hometown hospital. This is my hometown hospital.
Sure, and that's great, and that's what we want. I'm not going to put boundaries on Jackson County and say that the people of Jackson County need to come here. I'm not going to say that just the people of Arkansas need to come here. You know, people say, "Oh my gosh, that's too lofty. That's just lip service." No, it isn't.
You got to have goals.
It's a standard.
Yes.
You know, we can decide how good we want to be. We can decide that. We can choose to be so-so, or we can choose to be excellent. I've decided that we're going to choose to be excellent. Unity has a reputation of excellence. I mean, you put their numbers up. We've gotten the Governor's Award several times. You put our numbers, we were recognized by a national magazine for being one of the top 3 hospitals in the nation for infections. That's not by accident. It's
right.
Because Unity decided they were going to be the best. I was given the challenge to make Harris the best in Unity. So why not?
And I want to mention this, and I'd be remiss in not mentioning this. When you talk about wanting to be the best and to kind of show what Unity Health and Harris Medical Center has done to try to provide the best, we hire the guy that for last year was named the top CEO administrator in the state of Arkansas. Congratulations on that award. So we set our goals pretty lofty too. We wanted to hire the best.
Well,
we wanted to hire the best.
Thank you for that. You know, there were a lot of good guys that preceded me, and I was, you know, it must have just been a weak pool that last year. I'm not sure that all the nominees were very good. Sometimes you just get lucky. But I'm not here by accident. It was a prayerful decision. Back last May, my wife and I was visiting with Ray in Washington while we were up there dealing with the congressional delegation. And we told him, because it was perplexing to him. He wanted great stuff for Newport. Absolutely. He wanted great stuff for Newport. And I could see it was weighing on him. And I just told him, pulled him aside, and said, Ray, we're going to pray for you and pray that you pick the person that's right for Newport. And then, dadgummit.
Here you are.
Here I am.
Here you are.
So
his prayers were answered.
Well, there is another caveat to that, though. I want to tell you, the CFO up there, Stuart Hill, he said, "Well, now wait a second." Said, "If I screw it up, it ain't God's fault." So,
that's right. That's right. Well, I wish you a great, welcome to Newport from us Newportians, and we'll make you feel at home. We want you to feel at home. This is your home. We appreciate you picking Newport, Arkansas to be your home. My friend, thank you, sir. Darren Caldwell, who is the Vice President and Administrator of Unity Health Harris Medical Center, which simply means this is the guy in charge. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Excited to be here. Good luck and God bless.
Customized Vision Care with my good friend, Dr. Gavin McNeil. Always a pleasure to get to see you, sir. Everything going good?
It was until then, yeah.
I just got to share that with you. Here's what I do when I shake his hand. I take that finger right there, that finger, and then when I shake, and I always say, "Pardon that growth." And he likes it. He just says, "Can you do that?"
Please, every time you come in when we shake hands, please do that.
We talk.
It never gets old.
No, it doesn't. It's just a monthly deal.
Yes.
It's a monthly deal. we're doing kind of a middle of September, have a September and October show to talk about, and got some things that we talked previously about kids going to school and needed to get their eyes checked before they go to school, just in case.
Yes.
Now they've been.
Now they've been, and you may notice, especially if some of your chitlins have come home and you know, last year they did relatively well in school, and now they're struggling a little bit, especially with their reading stuff. Don't discount it. It may be a vision problem.
Sure, absolutely.
You never know. So that's why you
ought to be one of the first things that you do check. I mean,
I don't see how instantly improved vision can't be at the top of most people's to-do list.
Yeah, we
but
talk about
surprisingly, it's way low on some.
That's right. Well, bread and milk going to the grocery store is
bread,
obviously a lot higher than your eyesight.
Big screen TV.
Yeah, well, you got to have that.
Yeah, anyway.
You know, and I think, you know, when your eyesight gets bad, everybody just says, I just need a bigger TV.
That's, you know, if I get a husband and wife in the room, anytime they start complaining about the TV, you know, I can't read that on the bottom of the TV, I'll turn to the wife and say, well, sounds like you need a new TV now. And that's when I hold my hand out to the husband, expecting a
That's right.
a $20 bill slipped in.
Sir, it is.
I'm prescribing a new big screen.
That's right. But it is important for children, and it's important for adults to figure out if your child is struggling, why they are struggling. That could be
exactly. You know, the American Optometric, if I could speak, the American Optometric Association once had a campaign going on that stated that, you know, a child should not have to fail to see. Meaning, a child shouldn't fail first and then realize, oh, that was always a vision problem. You know, be proactive, not reactive.
Right.
If your child has not had an eye exam within a year's time, get them in. There's no reason not to. Whether you think little Johnny sees well or he does everything fine, he sees that bird on the highline wire from 100 yards away, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of different things that go into vision when it comes to classroom and just visual efficiency that may not, you know, present itself any other time unless they're in the classroom. And unless you're going and sitting in the classroom with your child, which I know you're not, or you're seeing through their eyes, and I know you're not, they need an eye exam every year.
And it could be one of those problems where the kid doesn't even know that until they come in and get an exam.
Exactly. Well, let's put it this way. How did you know what a camel was until somebody told you what it was?
Well, I had to see it.
You had to see it.
I had to see it.
What I'm saying, people, you know, children do not know what blurry is.
Right. Yeah.
They may see things like, well, that's how things are seen by everybody else.
Sure.
That's what it's supposed to look like. That's not necessarily so. I have kids. I have at least one every season that comes through here and we'll check them out and finds out that, you know, come to find out they are nearsighted.
Right.
Meaning they see things here great. So classwork never been a problem until they started complaining, the board's a little fuzzy.
Right.
Then they get in here, we put them in glasses, and they'll come back and like, Doc, there's leaves on trees. I just thought it was just this green mess.
Yeah.
I get it at least one a season. It's crazy. And parents didn't know because the kid does not know that it's blurry.
And you know, same way with adults. I mean, we should have it. We should have it checked every year. I mean, just
and that's I use this adage a lot with patients. You know, I ask them, hey, when was your last eye exam? And, oh, it's been 5 years ago. When's the last time you went to the dentist? Oh, just 3 months ago. I'll go for my 6-month cleaning. If every tooth in your head fell out, we could put dentures in and you'd function somewhat normal the rest of your life. If your eyes go bad,
not any replacements are there.
There's glass eyes.
They don't see very well.
They don't see very well at all.
Sir.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of things, even small things, can go wrong with the eyes to make profound impairments in your vision. So it's all about, you know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Get it checked ahead of time.
Get it checked. And another thing we want to hit on, here it is, getting close to Halloween time and kids and the cosmetic contacts. Talk a little bit about that.
You have to understand contact lenses, any type of contact lens, whether it has a prescription in it or not, it's a medical device. You know, it has to be fit properly because not everybody's eye is shaped the same. Not everybody has the same dimensions. And so when you slap a contact lens on there, it needs to fit properly for one, and two, not give you any, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't want to promote bad things happening.
Right, okay.
And so if you go to a gas station, there's like, a lot of times you'll see these. You'll go to gas stations, you'll go to hair care places, you'll see a lot of different places where they're selling individual colored contact lenses.
Sure.
They're like $5
Real
a
cheap.
lens. They're really cheap. Yeah, really cheap. Those are medical devices. One, that's against the law. They can't sell those.
Sure.
They're not allowed to. But two, you're taking the risk of putting something in your eye that you don't know if it fits right. And if you haven't worn contact lenses before, you don't know how to take care of them. So people, I can wear these forever.
Sure.
No. Colored contact lenses, and you'll see, especially with Halloween coming up, a lot of these theatrical, wolf eyes and vampire eyes or whatever. They look cool until they give you an eye ulcer, which you want to know what pain is. A corneal ulcer, I've had a lot of patients tell me this is worse than A, when I had kids, or B, when I passed that kidney stone.
Wow, really?
That's how bad an ulcer on the eye, on the cornea is going to feel.
Right, yeah.
And it hurts the entire time it's there, and it leaves a scar. So if you get a corneal ulcer right in the center of your vision, guess what? I can strap the Hubble Space Telescope to your head. You will not see clearly out of that eye the rest of your life.
Really?
So it's not worth the risk of putting in that cheap, colored contact lens because you want to look cool, I want to look good going to the club, or I want to make my costume pop or whatever. It's not worth it. You want a real cool theatrical contact lens, I can get it for you, and I can make sure it fits right for you. Or I can direct you to somebody who will fit it right for you.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be me. All I'm telling you, do not get those over the counter. There is no such thing as an over the counter theatrical, Plano zero power contact lens. That's a medical device. You need some help with it.
I know one of the things that you check when we're wearing contacts, and I'm obviously a client and a customer, and one of the things that you always say, or we always get checked and say, when you put a contact in, you're trying a certain new brand or whatever.
Yeah.
You're trying a new brand, and you say, one of the things you always say is that we want to see how it's riding on the eye, we want to see how it fits on the eye, we want to see if it's okay on the eye. I mean, I know that, so I can speak from experience.
Think of it like this. You want the contact lens to move a little bit because you want tears to get up underneath there, and you want it to basically just kind of float on the cornea a little bit, but not too much, because if it moves too much, you get some irritation. If it doesn't move at all, that means it's sucked to your cornea, and you're actually trapping anything from getting underneath that lens, and you're going to cause your cornea to swell. And I was talking about how a corneal ulcer feels. That's because the cornea is packed full of nerves. It feels everything.
Right.
Imagine how that thing feels when it's all swollen.
Oh yeah.
Good times.
Well, when you start talking about kidney stones,
yeah,
whoo, buddy,
it's not fun.
Well, I mean, it's good information. It's good information to know on both ends about wearing the contact lens that are not prescribed to you and what it could do to your eye, and then obviously, if your child may be struggling in school, or you think you may be struggling in your vision, I mean, you can make an appointment with us here at Customized Vision Care here in Newport, and I always say this: there's professionalism here, no doubt about that. Professionalism here.
When you look up the word professionalism, I'm certain there's some mention of us or my name somewhere in that ballpark.
I think so too.
It's got to be
Dr.
there.
Gavin McDowell.
Yes.
We're in the Village Mall in Newport. We appreciate your business if you're doing business with us, and if you're not doing business with us, we ask you to kind of give us a try. Good to see you, sir.
I dare you.
I double dog dare you. There's a solid one right there. Customized Vision Care in the Newport Village Mall.
I know this is a little bit unorthodox for me to be doing a commercial or an advertisement for Jackson's Funeral Home, but I've had 3 instances where I've had the occasion to use Jackson's Funeral Home. It's a business that is different from the one I'm in, significantly different. Customers who come to my business are excited about things and cars and all that. The business that Jackson's Funeral Home has is really, really special. I've had 3 occasions to use Jackson's Funeral Home, and the last one with my dad, who passed away in July, was a traumatic one, and dealing with Jackson's Funeral Home really made me feel the need to come and do this little, I guess, commercial forum, or just give you my thoughts about Jackson's Funeral Home. Going beyond and above what they have to do in the business that they're in to make sure that you really feel comfortable and you really are satisfied with the service they provide. There were a few little things that we had asked Jan to do that were a little bit unorthodox regarding my father, and she took care of those requests. They were a little special, they're a little bit different, but she did them. Everything that we asked her to do in regard to what would make us feel good and what would make our family feel good, she did it. And I appreciate that. One other thing that Jan did that I'll never forget, and it's pretty touching to our family and to everybody who's ever heard it. Our little granddaughter, Sloan, passed away a year or so ago, and the service in the funeral home was in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Jan went to Fayetteville to check on everything at that particular funeral home. She had nothing to do with it. She took her time and expense to go up there to check with that funeral home to make sure they were doing every single thing that we wanted done for Sloan. I don't know how many other people would do that in this business, but she did on her own, and she made some special gifts for Sloan's mom and dad too while she was there. There's a time that every one of us will have to use the services of a funeral home. It's not something we want to do, it's not something we look forward to do, but it's something that you're gonna have to do sooner or later, or somebody in your family's gonna have to do it. It's not a pleasurable experience, it's not something that you look forward to doing, but let me tell you, when the time comes for you to need a funeral home, I cannot tell you how pleased we have been and how heartfelt we are toward Jan and her staff at Jackson's Funeral Home. They have done every single thing they could do to help us through a tough time. I don't know how she does her business. Every business has certain things that are in common, financials, advertising, and all those kind of things, but the business she's in and the way she handles her business is extraordinary. I want to tell Jan and her staff again, thank you so much for everything you've done for our family. We've had 3 occasions and you've handled them wonderfully. I don't know how many of you know this, but when Jan's mom was pregnant with Jan, my dad gave blood to her mother. So Pennington blood kind of runs through Jan Jackson Maris's veins, and I truly love her as a sister, especially having to go through 3 times of a family death and how she handled everything that we had to do. So when you're in need of a service that they can provide, I won't go anywhere else. I know it's unorthodox. I'm not a paid spokesman. I'm just a customer. I'm a big customer. One thing that Jan said when we were talking, she said there's the right way and there's the wrong way and there's the Jackson way. And I will tell you this, the Jackson way is the way to go. I appreciate your time, and if you ever have a need for this service, and you will, come to Jackson's Funeral Home. They'll treat you with dignity, with loyalty, compassion, and they will sit and cry with you. They will hold your hands. They will make this time of grief better, I promise. Give them a call. Thanks a lot.
Hi everybody, I'm Bud Black and welcome to the Man Cave here at the house. We've got things to talk about. We appreciate ENG, those folks for making it possible. Now I understand they're having a name change and David has all that information for you. I'll be telling you also, but Kenny Thaxton and crew out in the mall, we appreciate them for bringing you the program. There's so much to talk about. At the time you watch this, if you're watching it mid-September, you realize we're still in a great pennant race. If you watch it toward the 1st of October, it may have been decided, so it's tough for me to get on here and comment. I do know that around the 2nd week of September, Cardinals had started to struggle just a little bit. The pitching had gone south. They still had a couple of good starts from Garcia, but I was worried about the Cardinals. The lead was down to like 4 games on the loss side, and anything can happen. The Pittsburgh Pirates have played such sensational baseball. One wonders how in the world up through the 1st week of September they could continue to play at that pace for another 3 weeks. But, who knows? And the Cubs have been outstanding. Take away a couple of spots where they lost 3 or 4 in a row, which was silly on their part. Just young kids playing like young kids, and they are young, but they're getting better and they're getting older. And they're getting more strong, and they're getting more physical and smarter. The Cubs have a chance to really become something in the future. And the Pittsburgh Pirates, I think this is their best shot this year. I think it's their year. If they don't get there, then I think they have trouble from here on, because they're losing some people to contracts they won't sign as free agents. And football, of course, here we are halfway through the season technically. You know more about it now than I do, because if you're watching at the end of September, early October, this program, you know where we stand. Let's hope that the Hogs made it through Texas A&M. If they made it through Texas A&M, then they have a real good shot to win at Alabama. And that's the one that's going to determine, I believe, the conference race. Arkansas has tough games on the road, and they've got to at least split what I call the two big games. We've talked about that before. Another thing I do want to talk about that we can talk about is Tom Brady and all the hoopla over Deflategate, which, in my opinion, is two things. First, the commissioner trying to exert his power and slap the New England Patriots in the face because they win and because they have done some questionable things in the past. I appreciate Tom Brady, right or wrong, standing up and fighting that authority. I think he fully believes that what he did, even if he did tell the kids, hey, take the pressure out, here's the way I like the football. Look, there's a big difference in cheating and gamesmanship. I don't know what it is, but it's a big difference. I know in baseball, the Cardinals, back when they had McGee and the days before that of Templeton and Lou Brock and guys that could run, Bate McBride, Cardinals a lot of times on that third baseline would raise the chalk up about this much. Well, the rules didn't say how high the chalk could be or did have to be, but you raised it up. Why? Because they would bunt, and that ball would roll down there instead of going foul, would stay fair. That's gamesmanship. Is it cheating? I don't think so. It's the way you prepare your field based on your team. I know there are rules about how much air pressure is supposed to be in a football. But if a guy gets a football and says, I really don't like that one like that, can you do something here and help me out a little bit? I understand that too, gamesmanship. Is the guy throwing a spitball? It's illegal in baseball. Is that gamesmanship? The rules say that specifically is cheating. So where's the fine line? And then to spend $30 million on lawyers and hoopla and fighting and defending and prosecuting and all this mess, it is absolutely ridiculous. There are people out in this country starving to death, y'all, and we're worried about how much air is in a cotton-picking football. Somebody needs to get a life somewhere. I guess I've said enough. Welcome to the Man Cave. Let me say one other thing about reunion. I have a big reunion going, my classmates and I hope you know about it. I hope you can help us. It's October 9th and 10th. We have 4 classes for the first time in a long time in our era, first time we've ever put classes together. 67, 68, 69, and 70. I would hope that if you know anybody in those age brackets and those classes, that you could contact them and ask them about coming to the reunion. We would love to have them. It's October 9th and 10th. Did I say 2nd, 9th? Forgive me. 9th and 10th. I've been doing this for a long time. Had my computer hacked and everything else, so it has really been an adventure. October 9th and 10th. The 9th, we will be down at the depot having a social, and the 10th out of the historic Silver Moon building where Elvis performed first in 1954, and we'll have a barbecue dinner and a DJ from over at Jonesboro coming and playing some Elvis songs and a lot of oldie goldies for us also on October 9th and 10th. The 9th at the depot, the 10th out at the Silver Moon get-together. There are a lot of big reunions in Newport this fall, and I know that a lot of folks will be coming in and spending a lot of money in Newport, and we're glad to have them, and we welcome everybody that's coming back home for a get-together. Thank you so much for everybody out in the general public here in the Newport area, and those of you watching on the internet around the country and around the world. If you are a member of one of those classes or know someone that is, please help us inform them October 9th and 10th about the big reunion, the 4-class reunion at 67, 68, 69, and 70 all together. For more information, you can contact me, John Pennington with a class of 69, Joe Miles with 70, and Becky Travis McCartney with the class of 67, and we'll be glad to give you all of the information and the fees and all that you need to know. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Bud Black on Sports, and you're watching Cable 15 TV and cable15tv.com, and our program's available to you also on Facebook and social media throughout the world. Thank you.
At Merchants Planners Bank, downtown Newport, visiting with Tara Salinas here on the Business Spotlight. We do each and every month. We talk about things that are happening at M&P and not only in Newport, but locations throughout Northeast and North Central Arkansas. How's it going?
It's going great.
Good deal.
Happy summer. Happy going back to school season, I
It's
guess.
that time.
It's that time. It seems like summer flew by, but
We film early in the month, late in July or early in August. We happen to film early in August this time, and you may be seeing that, and you may say, what do you mean school's almost here? I've been in school for 2 weeks.
well, yeah, that's true.
So they may have already been there, hadn't
well,
they? Yeah.
happy almost back to school, and if
Yeah.
you're in it, happy back to school.
That's right. Good luck on what test you're going to have.
Study hard.
Yeah, that's right. We have a promotion or two we like to talk about. One of them
Sure.
talking about as far as a credit card promotion. Let's talk about that.
Okay, well, our customers know that we offer Merchants and Planners credit cards. We offer a Visa and a MasterCard. And, you would say, well, why would I go to my bank? And, what's the difference between your credit card and everything? Because, you got a lot of options out there.
Sure.
I'm sure everybody still probably gets things in the mail asking them to apply for their credit card.
Absolutely. Daily.
All the time. But the difference is, one, we do have a great interest rate. Very competitive with everything that's out there. And what really sets it apart, though, is that we have a local person here on staff that's dedicated to our credit cards and our credit card customers. So when you have, any type of issue, whether it be fraud, which we hope never happens, but unfortunately it does, a question about your limit or just paying your bill, you can talk to
somebody.
You can talk to somebody. You can talk to somebody that works for Merchants and Planners
Right.
Bank. You're not calling an 800 number and just hoping that you get someone that can help you. So
it irritates me. And I guess that's just the corporate world anymore. To you call, you want to talk to somebody, and you have to be on there for 5, 6, 7 minutes before it ever gives you the option to talk to somebody.
Right, or you just press 0 like I do, like crazy, hoping you'll get lucky.
Eventually get somebody.
No, like I said, you just call right here and boom, you can talk to Alexis and she can help you with things.
Credit card's a good deal.
It's a good deal, and especially, again, going back to school, you need school supplies, you need, new clothes and uniforms and all of that to wear. So it could help out with that. We obviously like to encourage everyone to use your credit wisely.
Absolutely.
So there's a promotion going on with our Visa credit card. Okay. It's a nationwide promotion where every time you use your card, you get entered into a drawing. Okay. There will be several drawings from now until the end of September. Okay. The grand prize is $10,000. Wow. So that's a lot of school supplies.
That's a lot of money.
So there will be one nationwide $10,000 winner, and then they will also be giving out $500 Visa gift cards throughout the month and $100 Visa gift cards throughout the month. So it's just a fun little promotion, and you're probably going to use it anyway. And you're automatically entered, so it's just a neat thing, and I wanted to make everyone aware of it, and just encourage you, if you don't have a Merchants and Planners Visa card, to come in or go online or call us and talk to us about it today. Another advantage of it is we have reward points, and so even if you don't win the contest, every time you use your card, not inside the contest rules, just every day you get reward points that you can redeem later.
I will say this, and it's so good when you talk about in doing business with our hometown bank and locally owned and operated, and decisions are made right here, and so much advantage to doing business with Merchants and Planners Bank. I like to get those credit card offers in the mail that say you can have one for 0%. You jump on in here and get it. And if you don't read it, you can get 0% for a few
6 months.
Yeah, for a few days, a few months.
Yeah.
And then it says it will go to the current market plus 17% interest, and it's 29% interest. We don't do that here. I mean, we've got a good interest rate on our credit card, and it's going to be a low interest rate. It's matter of fact, it's one of the best you can get anywhere in the world.
Right, and you can pay it online, or you can have it, drafted from your account. We want to make it as easy as possible, not to forget that payment. With a lot of other cards too, there's a lot of transfer fees. Late payment fees can get you big time. Anything like that. So yes, anytime you look at a credit card, we encourage you to read all the little teeny tiny print. There's a reason it's so small.
That's the reason it's so small. Get it all in there.
But yeah, we're excited about the promotion, and we hope someone from here wins $10,000. That'd
be pretty neat.
Yeah. So again, if you have any questions, just give us a call or go online and look at our website. There's more information there.
Quickly talk a little bit about Greyhound football coming up. It's a busy time of year for everybody, and I know merchants and planners and in the investment services business, you guys do a lot for Greyhound football. They're supporting and usually have some fun times as we go, whether we cook out or something. We're always involved at M&P.
Always involved. We hope to be out there for the first game. I don't know if we'll be allowed to bring our grill out again, but if we are, we'll be glad to do that. If you don't have your merchants and planners Greyhound debit card, personalized debit card, we offer those. Come and show your school spirit on your debit card.
I do.
Good.
I do have mine.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I do.
Yeah. So yeah, we're excited about that. Just remind everyone too, our social media folks that are out there. We're on Facebook. Like us and see what's going on in the world of your community banker or your community insurance agency. We've got 2 separate pages for each business. We've had some fun contests and some really interesting facts about your community bankers disclosed on Facebook. So
you can get information on Facebook.
You can get the dirt. You can. If you want to know which one of your community bankers, and I will say this person is in the Newport area.
Okay.
Had a monkey as a pet growing up. Check out our Facebook page.
Is that right? I got to look then. Okay. I had a monkey.
You got to look. I don't know. Anyone come to your mind?
No, but I'll think about it when I get on.
Think about it. Go on Facebook and you'll find out. But, we've had a lot of fun with it. And we love interacting with our communities and our customers. And just, it's a fun little
Real quickly, Bud Black has just now discovered Facebook.
Oh, yay.
And he says, I'm just a little amazed I can talk to people. And he's planning I don't know, it's not a 50-year reunion, not a 40th, but a reunion. He says, it's amazing how many people are in it that I haven't talked to in 40-something years. I said, Bud, that's what I've been telling you for years. I mean, it's there. It's there with a click of a button.
It's there.
It's called the internet.
Right. It's it's kind of amazing, huh?
Yes, it is.
Kind of a big deal.
Yes, it is.
But anyway, so yeah, check us out on Facebook. And like I said, we're excited to get into fall and get into football season and to be out there and see our community and our customers.
Hey, we appreciate you. Merchants and Planners Bank. We're in downtown Newport where we film. We have several locations throughout Northeast and North Central Arkansas, taking care of hometown folks. She's Tara Salinas, and let's continue on with more of the Business Spotlight. Miss Peggy Pierce joins us, White River Area Agency on Aging, and we haven't seen you in some time. And welcome back to the program.
Thank you. I've been keeping a low profile.
You have, girl. You've been working hard. I know that.
I've been working.
Mr. Ted Hall speaks so highly of you, and he tells me that you do okay here.
Well, I appreciate that. I can't take that credit, but I appreciate it.
He says you are a main cog in this operation.
Well, we're glad to have him aboard with us.
Absolutely. He does wonders. Tell us a little bit about what's going on at White River Area Agency on Aging.
Okay, we're going strong. In fact, just last week, Lynn was telling us that we've got 683 employees right now. And
wow.
That may be a fact that some people don't realize how many employees we have at White River.
Wow.
Of course, the largest part of that employment are the home care assistants that actually go into the homes and provide the care. They go in and help people with bathing, dressing, light chores in the home. They do respite. So that is not only the services that we provide to help people stay in their homes, but we're providing a lot of jobs too, especially in these rural towns, rural areas where jobs are scarce.
Absolutely.
So it's
with that many people employed, I mean that's an amazing number to figure out that you have that many. Yeah.
It makes an impact, I think, and I think a lot of people are not aware that we employ that many people. When you drive by our little buildings, it doesn't look that big.
Well, generally speaking, a lot of people, and especially younger people who maybe aren't taking care of their parents or their grandparents, might not know what we do.
Exactly.
They don't really know what we do. The White River boy go skiing out there, the White River area agent, what is
you
that?
drive by and you don't pay any attention until
Sure.
until you need something
Absolutely.
like anything else. But just a little overview. Of course, the in-home services that we were talking about is the largest program that we have. We have care managers in each of those 10 counties that will go out to the homes. They will sit down with the person, their family, whoever needs to be there. They'll look at each person's situation and tell them about anything that they think would be applicable to their situation, maybe help them with elder choice applications, or if they need to know about a food bank or just any program that they think would help them. They will try to help them access that. We also have a foster grandparent program where she places seniors in the schools, like Head Starts, kindergartens, and they do some one-on-one with special needs children.
Right.
And I don't know who gets the most out of that program, the children or the foster grandparents.
That's right, yeah.
We have a long-term care ombudsman that visits all the nursing homes in our 10-county area, and she is an advocate for the resident. That's something that a lot of people are not aware of probably. We own and operate Eagle Mountain Assisted Living Center, which has been a wonderful thing for this community. It's very nice. If people haven't visited it, they would be very proud to have it in their community.
It's beautiful, nice.
We are the managing agent for 12 complexes of HUD subsidized housing, 188 apartments, and these are income based. So a lot of people pay very small amounts in rent based on their income. So White River's involved in a lot of different things. And then one thing that's coming up will be the Medicare Part D open enrollment that starts October. It's rolling around again, October 15th through December 7th. This is the time that people, if their medications have changed during the year, maybe they've gotten a little sicker or the doctors put them on something different, they can make an appointment, come in, we'll help them look up those medications, and it'll pull up the cost of those particular medications under each of the drug plans that are available, and they can, if they want to make a change, we can help them enroll in the other plan. If they're happy with what they have, they don't have to do anything. It'll just keep rocking on. So it is that time, though, that they can start thinking about if they want to look at their options. That time is rolling up on us.
Well, I think that the key point are that you have options.
You have options.
You do look at, and each case is so different than the other case, and those needs change from year to year sometimes.
They do. And not just during the open enrollment, but the people, and it's happening, I don't know how many every day are turning 65. Our care managers can help them. You know, Medicare's not as simple as it used to be.
Right.
There's the A and the B, and do you need a supplement or do you need a drug plan? Do you want an advantage plan? So there's, until it's time for you to enroll, there's a lot, they start sending you all these insurances, start mailing you all this information, and then you're like, what do I do with
You
all
become overwhelmed with all that, and you say, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. And that's what you do.
Call a care manager. They can make an appointment and help you understand each part of Medicare and which part do you need, what do you need about your drug plans, which one is the best suited for what you take, because like you said, everybody's different. Not everybody's taking the same group of medicines. So you kind of look at what's specific to your needs.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So White River does a lot of different things.
Well, there's no doubt, and you guys do it well, and you've been doing it a long time, and again, some people might not know exactly what we do, and it's not just the aging, because as we get older and our parents are older, and then we become the people who are trying to take care of them, and we don't know what to do.
That's a good point.
So we have to come in and say, well, Mom and Dad need something here. Can y'all help me help them? And
that's usually the person that's looking for the care, is the adult
Absolutely.
children are usually the ones looking for the care from Mom and Dad. And that's where our care managers can play such a vital role.
Sure.
Sometimes we get a call from someone that lives maybe in another state, and they have maybe talked to their parent and realized that Mom or Dad's not doing quite as well as they thought,
right.
And then they start searching what's out there to help them.
What I do.
So, you know, I think there's relief when they find out that care manager can actually do a home visit,
Sure.
and it's it's relief when they know somebody's going to do a face-to-face with that mom or dad, and they're going to be a contact for that daughter or son, and knowing that somebody can help them access those services that might help them be able to stay in their home a little bit longer. You know, that's the whole goal. There's a time when people need to go to the nursing home, but it's a win-win, because, you know, if people are staying at home with some care under a Medicaid program, that's less expensive to the state than someone in a nursing home.
Sure, absolutely.
Plus, that's where that person wants to be as long as they're able to be at home.
Wants to be at home as long as you can be at home and take care of yourself. And if you have people that's helping you along the way, I mean, that's the beauty of what you guys do.
Absolutely. So it's a win-win.
It is that.
The in-home services are just a vital thing, I think, and with the large number of people that are turning sick or getting older every day.
Sure.
But you made a point. Our name, I guess, is a little bit misleading, because we do some in-home services for people that are under 65.
Right.
We have the AAPD, or people that have SSI Medicaid. We do private pay.
Right.
So there's a variety of ways that we can provide the assistance, and they're not all elderly people. Some of them are younger people that still need help.
Here's what I would recommend to anybody. If you have any questions, you can certainly call us, come by, or whatever. But if you get in that time, and when that time comes, we'll be more than happy if you walk in the door. We'll sit down and we'll help you get the help that you deserve and that you need.
Information is the key, and that's what we're here to help people get the information that they need.
Miss Peggy, it's always a pleasure to get to see you.
You too.
Well, I appreciate
I'm glad Ted was out of town today.
Well, and of course, I sent the email yesterday that I was going to show up at 1:30. The only thing that I did, I typed it. I just didn't send it. So
I wasn't going to tell our audience that.
I don't mind. I made a mistake, but luckily, at the same time that you were expecting me to be here and didn't know that I was going to be here, I showed up.
You showed up.
Thank you, Miss Peggy. We appreciate
you.
it. White River Area Agency on Aging, all across many counties in northeast and north central Arkansas. John Chadwell, NEDC, and we get to come down and visit with John and really talk about a lot of exciting things that are going on in Newport, Jackson County, northeast Arkansas, and we've kind of gotten into the hub. We're kind of in the hub. We're kind of in the know now. I mean, Newport has seen some growth, and when you do that, then you have jobs that are available. We're going to talk a little bit about, we had a real successful job fair, and let's talk about jobs, John.
Well, we had a job fair. We had 21 companies that set up at the job fair. All of them were looking for employees, and we asked them when they registered for a booth, we said, well, how many job openings do you have? And when we added them all up, they had over 300 job openings, just those 21 companies right here in Jackson County, looking for people to employ. And that there are a couple of companies that are trying to employ people that weren't even set up there that I know about.
Really?
So I know that there are jobs available. Part of the issue is going to be connecting the people with the jobs.
Sure.
You know, folks who have the skill, but the jobs were in manufacturing, healthcare, retail, service. I mean, there were all kinds of jobs that were available. A lot of people came out, put in applications. But if you're out there looking for a job, there are several companies that are looking for employees. And if you'll call the chamber, the NEDC office, we've got the list of some of those companies that were at job fair. We'll hook you up and you can find a job there. I mean, we've had a lot of manufacturing growth, because you know that Shears Foods has added 100.
Sure.
Southwest Steel has added 100 people. Delta Manufacturing. We
had a big day the other day, yeah.
They're going to expand about 40,000 square feet. They're going to add 35 new jobs out there. Great story. I mean, they started, in a garage.
Yeah, they sure did.
2 people in a garage building
sir.
trailers. And now they're going to, with the expansion, there'll be over 100 people right here in Newport. So that's about 300 manufacturing jobs right there. And a lot of the jobs that were at our job fair were not those same jobs. There was a little overlap, but not a whole lot. I'd say about 150 of the ones that were at the job fair were this 300. So 150 weren't. That means there's 450 jobs.
I think a lot of times that we talk about Newport, Arkansas, and in years past we go, well, there's not any jobs. There's nothing to do. There are jobs, and we've got as many jobs now. If you want to go to work, we can put you to work. And you have to, like you say, match up with the particular job that it is with your skills that are best suited for that. But we've got plenty of jobs.
And most of the employers that I talk to, they're not real overly concerned about the training you have. If you're willing to work and you're willing to learn and you show up every day, they'll hire you and they'll teach you to do the job that they want you to do. And so there's an opportunity. We just need to match the folks with the opportunity. right now we have, I think at the latest count, we have 600 people in the county that are unemployed. Well, if you take the 150 other jobs and the 400 manufacturing jobs, that's 450 jobs. If we could somehow match that 600 people with those 450 jobs, we'd have the lowest unemployment rate in the state of Arkansas.
Absolutely.
Now, that won't always happen,
Sure.
but it would be nice if we could make it work that way. And so we're excited about the growth with the companies that we have. We're excited about the growth, and a lot of people say, well, y'all are doing a lot of community stuff. We are, but we are also doing this stuff, stuff that helps create the jobs. And then those jobs have in turn created other jobs, like our new Hibbett Sports that opened.
Sure.
And they have employment opportunities. And so as we see the change in Newport, it's reflected in our sales tax collection.
Right.
And that's the sales tax shows us the amount of money spent in the city limits of Newport at any one given time. And right now, in Jackson County, over the first year we started collecting the NEDC sales tax, there is $5 million a month more being spent in the city limits of Newport than there was 12 years ago.
Tells you something, doesn't it?
$5 million, $60 million a year more being spent in the city limits of Newport than there was 12 years ago. So that means our economy's grown, or else there'd be less money. And
right.
If you don't believe it, go to some of these small towns and
Sure.
see if they aren't seeing lower sales tax instead of increasing sales tax. And so, we've got a lot to be excited about and a lot to be eager about, but that brings its own kind of growing pain.
Yeah, something we want to get to. The third thing we want to talk about today, talk about housing.
Housing, that's the big issue is housing. Now we have people calling the office on a regular basis, hey, where can I find a good apartment to rent? Where can I find a good house to rent? Where can I find a house to buy? And a lot of them, especially the younger people, they're not like me. They don't want to buy a fixer-upper.
Right. No, you're right. They want to move in.
They want to move in. They want it move-in ready. They want it fairly new. And they don't really have the money to buy a fixer-upper. Housing prices are cheaper in Newport than they are just about anywhere around us. But the bank's going to loan you 80% of whatever the sale price is.
Right.
You got to come up with a 20%. So you buy the house and you move in. Well, most younger couples don't have another $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 to go and redo everything in the house. And so a lot of our homes are dated.
Right.
And we have a shortage of apartments. They're just
absolutely
hardly out there.
Absolutely.
So Moving Jackson County Forward, which is a group of men and women who are working together to solve things, and if any of you are interested in knowing how to be part of the process, just give us a call and we'll hook you up. But Moving Jackson County Forward is starting to work on addressing some of the housing issues in town. And what can we do to encourage, incent, recruit developers to come to Newport, to come to Jackson County, to build a new housing area, to build rental housing that's available so that we can start to capture these people. Because right now, 800 people a day drive into Jackson County to work and drive back home.
Right.
Well, they take their paycheck with them, they spend it somewhere else. We need those folks and the people who are going to fill this new 300 to 400 jobs we got all living here and spending their money here. We're seeing great things, but they could be even better. And it's funny that people say, oh, well, we're adding these jobs, all this is going on, we don't have any problems. No, it just brings on a whole new set of issues. So I guess it's great.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I guarantee it does. Yes, sir. Hey, but it's exciting. It's exciting to, I guess we've been doing this for 10 plus 13 years.
13 years.
13 years now. And it's kind of interesting because I was telling somebody the other day about 14 years ago, Bud Black and I walked into Kenestra Hodges' office and said, Kenestra, we got to do something. I mean, we're just not happy where we're going. What can you do? And this is the truth. I know you know this story. He pulled out a lemon from his desk drawer and said, we got a lemon. Now let's make lemonade. And then the lemonade committee was formed, and then thus, we got to working on the sales tax, blah, 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 blah. And then here we are. We had to renew it, after 10 years, had a 10-year sunset, and the folks did renew it. And paying tremendous dividends. We see that now. We pay dividends all along, but now we're really seeing the effect.
You've got to. It's kind of like farming. You got to plant the seeds. Only it takes years to grow some of these things. Some of these things that you work on a long, long time. But one of the things that tells me that we have really been successful more than just in our own eyes. We've been invited over this year to speak to a number of different groups. And the last one was Windrock International.
Wow.
Invited us to come and talk to a 5-county group up there about how we've done things. And I started with the story of the lemonade cooler.
Is that right? Yeah.
I started with that and just went through what we've been able to do in the years since then. And a large number of the communities we talked to, the last 12 years have seen the opposite happen.
Right.
They've lost population, they've lost stores, they've lost jobs, while we've been the exception. And so they wanted to hear, and boy, they ate it up.
Sure.
And they've wanted our plans, they wanted this, they wanted that, they wanted the other. And so it's nice to have, I think that was the 6th different place where Newport's been asked this year to come and tell our story about how
we're
done
successful.
Why we're successful,
Yeah,
how we've done the
absolutely.
things we have. And so that's a compliment to all the people who've worked so hard to make it happen here.
Keep up the hard work, my friend, and I know that it's challenging on a daily basis. It's certainly challenging on a yearly basis, but boy, the challenges are paying off right here in Newport.
They are.
Thank you, my friend. John Chadwell, NEDC.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the September edition of the Farmer Supply Association Jackson County Agriculture Report. I'm Randy Klepechka. Well, harvest is underway, and today I want to talk about some things related to harvest. Mainly what I want to talk about today is the use of harvest aids. Many of our farmers use harvest aids for several reasons. One, it can help the plants dry down, help the grain dry down a little bit, where you can speed up harvest a little bit, maybe start a little bit earlier. It also can make for a more efficient harvest. You don't have all that green foliage going through your combine. You have dry foliage going through your combine, so it can make harvest just a little bit easier. So today we're out here where rice harvest is going on. We're going to talk about these harvest aids with all of our crops, including, we'll start out with rice since we're looking at a rice field here. As far as harvest aids for rice, the main one that we use is sodium chlorate. A lot of people just refer to it as salt. It is a type of salt, not exactly the type of salt you use on your table, but it is a type of salt called sodium chlorate. It's very important when you're using sodium chlorate on your rice fields that you have the proper moisture. You don't want to put salt out before the rice gets to 25% moisture, because you can dry those milky kernels up and maybe lose yield. On the other side of the spectrum, you don't want to put salt out after the grain moisture gets below 18. What happens is you can get that the grain too dry and you can have milling issues. So again, the key, use that sodium chlorate between the moistures of 25 and 18%. And the big key, you want to harvest within 5 days of applying that sodium chlorate, again, so you prevent the over drying. So that's the use of harvest aids or salt on rice. Next crop I want to talk about is soybeans. We don't use as many harvest aids in soybeans as we do in rice, but we do use some. There's really 3 main materials that we talk about. Paraquat or gramoxone is probably the #1 the harvest aid used in soybeans. Sodium chlorate, the salt like we talked about in rice, is also used in soybeans. And now we have a material called Sharpen that's a fairly new chemical that also can be used as a harvest aid in soybeans. The keys here are, again, timing. With the Group 4 soybeans or indeterminate soybeans, we want 65% of the pods to be brown. We want the rest of the pods to be yellow. So that's what we want with indeterminate soybeans. With determinate soybeans, our Group 5 and our Group 6 soybeans, we want 50% of the leaves dropped off the plant, the other 50% of the leaves to be yellow. That's the proper timing for a harvest date on those determinate soybeans. Some research out of Louisiana has indicated that as long as the bean within that pod is separated from the white membrane within that pod, then you're safe to use a harvest date in those situations without losing any yield. Again, the materials we'll use will be paraquat, sodium chlorate, and Sharpen. So again, that's soybeans. The other crop that we use a harvest aid in is grain sorghum. A lot of our grain sorghum is now harvested here in Jackson County as we enter September. But there are some harvest aids that are used in grain sorghum. Sodium chlorate and Roundup can both be used as harvest aids in grain sorghum. With sodium chlorate, if you've got a lot of suckering going on, sucker plants coming out of your sorghum plant, then you want to go ahead and use a harvest aid of Roundup would be your best choice there. And if you just have some green leaves and things like that you want to dry up, then you would use the sodium chlorate. Big key is moisture again. If you're going to use Roundup, we want the temperature, the grain moisture to be 30 or below, preferably 25. If you're using sodium chlorates, you want it near harvest moisture. In other words, about 15 to 18% probably before you would use grain sorghum. So again, these are the uses of harvest aids in our crops as we harvest them. They can be a big benefit, but they can also hurt you if you don't do them right. So for more information on that, you can contact me at Farmer Supply Association. And this has been Randy Kulpechka with your September edition of the Farmer Supply Association Jackson County Agriculture Report.
My good friend Tommy Allen, Dillinger Funeral Home, and we're filming out in the new section of the lobby right here. And we did a show earlier, well, I guess earlier this year out here.
We did.
Well, it's a nice renovation, isn't it, my friend?
Well, we're proud of it.
I guarantee you. And the day we came in, it was nice and cool. A little rain shower going on the outside when we filmed, and we needed a little rain.
It's been hot, hasn't it?
It has been real hot.
We got so much rain in the spring, and we thought it was never going to stop. And when it did stop, it dried up. We were spitting dust.
Yes, sir. Seems like it does that every year. We don't ever get the exact amount that we need when we need it.
It's hard to please us, isn't
it? It is, isn't it? Yes, sir. Hey, we want to spend a little time today and talk about the Lions Club because we've got a big thing coming up, and share that with us, my friend.
Yes, the Lions Club annual auction is coming up at the end of this month in conjunction with the Depot Days, and we're going to have a day of fun. You know, this has really become one of the best festivals. It's free.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's family oriented. And we go in the mornings and get ready for the auction around 10 o'clock, 10:30, and then just stay for the entertainment in the afternoons and the food and just have a blast every year.
Big fundraiser for you guys, and you get a lot of stuff that's donated to y'all to auction off for, you know, a lot of the businesses within the community, and it's a chance for people to get a bargain also.
It is. It's I still have some oil changes that I bought from last year.
Right.
And I bought several, but it's just the Lions Club does so much for our community, and this is one of the ways that we have of raising money. And you know, we're not by ourselves. Tuesday morning I come in before 9:30. I had 3 different people that come in needing donations for a worthy cause for what they were doing.
Sure.
You know, and I realize that the businesses are being hit really hard for donations.
Sure.
But the Lions Club, it does so much for our community and the kids, the people that go blind after they become adults.
Sure.
And help them with getting to where they could be productive citizens and, you know, and live on their own and that type of stuff, and a lot of things that people don't see.
They don't realize what you do. I mean, every civic club, I mean, has a goal and a purpose, so on and so forth, and that's one of the big things that you guys do.
And so, you know, we used to do the door-to-door broom.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Mop sale. Well, we still sell brooms and mops. We just don't go door-to-door anymore. Back in the 90s, whenever I first joined the Lions Club, I actually worked a mop and broom sale door-to-door before I made the first meeting.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers will remember that when you actually, I mean, the Lions Club would knock on the door, you'd have a mop and broom, you had some light bulbs, and a lot of people needed those, quote, products at the time, but a lot of people might not have needed them that bought them anyway.
That's true.
They
bought them just because we were there selling.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate that. We have people that use the warehouse brooms, people like Riceland, and you know, that have a lot of dust.
Sure.
And so we sell a lot like that. They'll order a dozen or 2 at a time, but we still have softy brooms and that we sell and it's just one of our fundraisers.
Lions Club, you say you joined when?
95, I believe it was.
And just off the top of your head, because I don't know for sure, I mean, how long probably has the Lions Club been active here in Newport? It's been here a long, long time. I mean, you don't have to have an exact date, but I know it's been a long time.
Yes, it has. And I want to say since maybe the 30s.
The 30s, yeah.
Yes.
And Lions Club is just an organization of good people within the community, and you know, one of the civic clubs that does outstanding work for those people that are in need. And it's just it's a good organization.
It is.
What does it take to join the Lions Club? You have to be invited?
We would like for you to come and visit our Lions Club. We meet on Thursday at noon at the Country Club.
Okay.
And we'll tell you about what we're about and what we enjoy doing, and we'd love to have some new members.
A lot of fellowship?
A lot of fellowship.
Well, and you know, if you don't do that on a weekly basis, if you don't have somewhere to go on a weekly basis, you miss stuff.
Yes.
You just miss stuff going on in the community because you can always pick up something, I did not know that, Oh, well, I'm surprised that happened, and I hadn't heard that. But you can get a lot of information. Joining a civic club right here in Newport and Jackson County, and it helps you be part of the community.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
It is.
Everything else going good for you, sir?
Everything's great.
Dillinger Funeral Home, I know, is top notch, and the facility looks great. And,
thank you.
And everything looks good.
Thank you.
Tommy Allen, Dillinger Funeral Home. Tell us again today on the Lions Club in the Big Auction.
It's the last weekend of September the 26th.
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Been visiting before we got on the air with Mindy Brown, who is at St. Michael's Place here in Newport, and a very interesting story that you have for sure. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
First of all, let's find out a little bit about Mindy and tell us a little bit about where all you've been, because you've been everywhere in the world, it sounds like. Tell us a little bit about you, Mindy.
I was born in Indiana, moved several times because my father worked for General Electric.
Okay.
Did most of my high school and college time in Louisville, Kentucky. And then most recently moved here from Nashville, Tennessee. So there's been some places in between, but those are the bigger ones.
those are the ones that you know for sure
yes.
that you've been,
yes.
Not in any particular order either.
Yes.
Not in any particular order. Well, tell us a little bit about family, and you talk about your dad was with GE. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay. My mom still lives in Louisville.
Okay.
My dad's passed away.
Okay.
My brother and his wife both still live in the Nashville area, so when I lived down there, I had family there.
Okay.
I was fortunate about that. I'm married, got a husband here, have 2 stepchildren, and we live in Walnut Ridge.
Wow, good deal, good deal. Tell us about, number one, tell us what you do at St. Michael's Place. What do you do here?
I'm a social worker.
Okay.
We do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Major areas that we kind of handle are a lot of discharge planning, because we get residents that come here obviously for long-term care, but then we get short-term residents
Sure.
that have had a surgery or an injury. And discharge planning with them just consists of making sure they have services and things set up so that they can be successful when they go home. We also handle all types of appointments. We set up hearing appointments, eye appointments. We set up any type of psychological services if people need. We handle resident and family issues, a little bit of everything.
So, and no doubt about that. I mean, when you're talking about those things, that's just not a the title of social worker, I don't think quite does you justice as what you do for this company.
It's a
not
little
that social
bit of everything.
worker is a bad thing, but talking beforehand, you do a lot of things for St. Michael's Place, and I understand that you do them very, very well.
Well, thank you.
Tell me a little bit about how did you get to here? I mean, you talked about you've moved all over. Kind of tell us the interesting story about where all you've been, what all you've done, and now why you're here.
I graduated in 1998, so I've been a social worker for many years. When I moved to Arkansas, though, I got the opportunity to go work for CMS, which is Medicare and Medicaid.
Right.
I worked as what people call a surveyor. So I went to all the different facilities in Arkansas, and we made sure that facilities were in compliance with the federal regulations. And I'd been here several times and just happened to get lucky and get a job here when I was ready to come off the road. So I was very fortunate.
So you're off the road and going, and you were telling me you go and sometimes you leave on Monday morning and not come back till Friday.
Yeah.
And Walnut Ridge, Newport, just a very, very short drive to come to work. And it's kind of like, and you say fortunate enough to, I think St. Michael's is fortunate enough to have you here.
I really we have a great team. That's one of the most important things to me when you work in a facility like this, is make sure that everybody doesn't get along all the time, but we all work together. And St. Michael's has been great with that. So I've been fortunate.
Yes, fortunate. And one of the things that I've always noticed about St. Michael's Place is how everybody, you do get along, and it is a family, and you treat the residents as family, and everybody becomes family when you're here.
Absolutely.
Girl, you're
some of them are here for a long time and some of them short, but yeah, absolutely.
Well, you mentioned the short-term, long-term care, and we have rehab services that are available for that short term.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about some of those.
A lot of residents will come in from a hospital stay, whether they have broken a hip or any type of surgery. There's skilled nursing services available, but on the other end of that, we have PT, OT, and speech, which try to get people back to a level that they were at before they had whatever illness they had, and get them back home and set up with services to make them successful at home.
Well, I know this. I know that you're excited to be here, and I know the folks at St. Michael's are excited to have you. We appreciate you taking time to visit with us here today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Mindy Brown, who is she's the one who
practically does it all at St. Michael's Place, and she can say that she's the social worker, and there's a lot more to that title than just being the social worker. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.